Good morning, Flosstube. My name is Laura, and I'd like to welcome you to Stitching by the Shore, my channel all about cross stitch. If you are new, I want to say welcome. Thank you so much for pressing play, and I hope you like what you see. Give it a thumbs up and hit like and subscribe, all that good stuff, and come back with me to check out my stitching and to stitch with me each week. If you're a returning viewer, as usual, thank you so much for joining me and being a part of my stitchy journey. I'm super excited to have you here. Good morning on a snowy day here in Connecticut. We got snow overnight. It's the first plowable, appreciable snow. What we got right before Christmas was not much of anything, and it's still snowing out there. So at the end, I'll tell you my little shamrock story. Hopefully I'll remember. He wasn't a big fan of the snow this morning. But yes, so I'm trying to, each week I kind of angle a little bit differently. There is a window right there, so I'm going to try to stand in front of that so you do not get any extra glare, as I am still in Connecticut in the studio here. What else? Oh, my Project Parade video. If you missed it between last week's regular video and today, I put out a year-end 2021 Project Parade video. Thank you so much for all of you who watched it and all of your great comments. As usual, I have to sit down and chat with you to respond to your comments. I have been kind of busy this week decluttering. We'll talk about that more too at the end. So my focus has been a little bit on the house a bit here. But thank you so much for everybody who has watched it, who gave suggestions on that old stocking piece. Of course, I've gotten every sort of answer possible, but I will finish stitching it. I promise that. What happens to it after that, we don't know yet, but I will. It's too far gone not to finish it. So thank you so much for all of those comments. And yeah, so if you haven't seen it and you want to see what I have as open projects right now as of January of 2022, because the only thing, there's one new start that I did this week that is not on there. Otherwise, everything that I have that is currently in progress is on that parade. So that's that. All right, so let's get into some stitching. I have 5 pieces that I worked on that were previous starts, and then I have 2 new starts. And like I said, one you would have seen in the parade, although I did give it a little bit extra time. So there is it's a heaven and earth. So the progress is not exactly, very noticeable, but I did a good chunk. Oh, and in honor of the snow, we pulled out another one of my snowflake tops. This one's actually just quite good. It's just a long sleeve top because it's a little warm in here right now. So anyway, even though it's snowing out there, it is warm in here. But yes, so we're still celebrating the decorated fancy tops. All right, so let's get going. We're moving away from winter for this first piece though. I talked about this, how it's very close to a finish. I want to get it finished. I didn't get it finished. In fact, still got a little ways to go. I'm talking about Surfside Cottage from Country Cottage Needleworks. Make sure I get it right. So it's that one right there. And I'm not doing the top flowers, the words, or the bottom flowers. So you would think, all right, then Laura, that really shouldn't take you that long. And I agree with you, but stitching has a way of humbling everybody, doesn't it? You think you're going to be at a certain point and get a certain amount done, and then it just says, ooh, hold on a little bit. We're going to slow you down a little bit. So this is where I am. That's what I have. This is an 18 count natural blue topaz fabric from To Die For Fabrics. And let me step away so that the light I brought this a little bit closer today, my camera, to the window. There's another window right there. Because of the snow, it's cloudy. And so the room was a little bit darker. So I did my best to try to bring a little bit these windows, the way the light is. I don't know that other one over there, if I would try it I don't know. Depends on where I am next week. I don't know where I'm filming from. But anyway, that's where we are. You'll notice there's still unstitched stripes in the house, I realized, because I was like, okay, let's tackle that next. That'll be easy, you know, just filling in. For some reason, that floss is not in the bag with all the other flosses. Now, I didn't bother bringing up all my extra DMCs. I wasn't going to bring the whole supply up to Connecticut when I came up. And I just haven't gotten to Michael's for it. So at this point, I might just wait till I go back down. I suspect I had it in there and then I pulled it for another project if I just needed something right away. That would be my guess. Or maybe I never had it and I just didn't realize it. I'm not sure. So that has to get done. I really concentrated on the boat here, which is almost finished. And I did finish, yes, you know, underneath the house down through the water where the boat is. So the house has to get a little finished, the sails a little bit, and I think there's a little bit on the birds. So if I could get that floss, I really do think at this point, sit down one day, I can get this one done. I thought this would be a really cute idea if I wanted to. I would love to do some sort of like tabletop-ish sort of tree and then be able to have different things to decorate it over the year. Where I'd put that and what it looks like is a very hazy idea in my mind, so it may not work. If it does though, I thought this would be cute. It'd be almost like a cute little ornament on there. It also would do great in a stitching scrapbook. If I can ever get all my supplies in one place and get that started. And when I do, I promise I will talk about it probably as an extra. So if any of you are interested and want to hear about how I'm tackling it, it's just a matter of I have too many supplies in both places and I never seem to have everything I need in one, and I really don't want to go out and buy a second batch of many of these things. So we're getting there. We're getting there. But that's the other option with this, if I do end up having it as some sort of like little decorative piece. So that's the first one. Hopefully next time you see it, it will be finished. That is my goal. Okay. Whoa, I took 2 projects. I'll be skipping a project there. Okay, next. This was another one. I thought I could do it. I thought I might get a finish on this one. Where's my iPad? There we go. This is called Merry Christmas from Cherry Hill Stitchery. Super cute. I am not stitching underneath the snow. So I'm not stitching the extra 2 birds and the word. So again, you're saying, Laura, that's doable. Get her done. There's something about this project. I have to laugh. Every day I use this as a stitching day project. It's usually every day I pull something else out unless I am totally stuck on one piece or I'm doing a strand or 2 in a specific piece. So it's a different project every day. And for whatever reason, every time I pull this project out, I have a really disjointed, interrupted sort of day. And I don't get very much stitching done on it. This has happened now for the last few weeks. So this is yet again not at a finish. So that's what it looks like. I really enjoy this fabric. This is Chinchilla. It's an 18 count from Mystic Fabrics. And that's what we look like, or it looks like close up. Oh, me too, because I kind of leaned in, didn't I? So there's a little bit more of the top that I haven't done. I concentrated on, I think I had just the center of the birdhouse done. Do I even have that? Yeah, I do. So I worked all the way down here and all of the extra stuff here. These are going to be skates. And then I might have stitched a little bit of snow as well. So it's coming along. I still have, there's a, big swath of snow right here. I have to finish the skates. And then there's snowflakes out and about. So could one day do it? Maybe, possibly, if that day was a really productive day. But the way this poor guy is going, it's going to take him a few more times before he's finished. I love him though, super cute. I decided to keep the words Merry Christmas off because then it could be a wintry sort of look. So that's that one. Okay, moving on. I have a lot of digitals this week. I seem to be definitely looking at digitals a little bit more. Just so easy to be able to buy them and have them. And I still mostly print them off. unless they're a big giant piece. This one is called On the Beach from Stitchrovia. And there it is. I had stitched on a little of this before my project parade. I think it was last Friday. I pulled it out to do a few strands. And I did some more yesterday as well, because I had a goal of finishing just about that umbrella. So I'm taking little sections of it and working on it piecemeal. So I've started from the top and I'm working my way down. And that's what it looks like. Go up close for a second. This is where I focused. If you want to go back to see, oh, there you go. That's a good, let me do this so that doesn't flop, and I'll hold it over there. That's a good picture of the fabric color. It is called, now maybe it's a little bit, maybe a little bit peachier in person. I take that back. This is 18 count beach sand from To Die For Fabrics. And here I am, slowly plugging away, just keeping going. That's the full width of it. So I've got, I'm working on page 1 and 2, and then there's a 3 and 4 down here. And that's what it looks like. Chugging along. But yes, it was umbrella day last night. Working on the umbrella, thinking about nice beachy weather. Okay, next. Today I might not be so chatty. Imagine that. I say that, and that doesn't always work. Oh, you know what? I don't need this. It is digital, but I don't bother with you guys. Yep, I did it. Lady Halloween, Jardin, Prive. There we go. My weekly piece. I brought it out the other day. I said, I gotta do it. I gotta do it. I'm actually almost out of my anchor black up here. I probably have another project that I have. Well, I have all my projects here, don't I? So I'm sure I could pull some out of another piece, but the skein that I have in this current bag is almost done. And that is now 2 skeins of anchor black that I have worked on. This is, I get to do the lift up kind of thing. 18 count, what is it? Smoky Amethyst. You can probably tell me by now, right? Because I say it every week. From To Die For Fabrics. So this is a lot from To Die For this week. I have quite a few of her fabrics. I love this purple. It is so pretty. And this week, we focused on her dress. So mostly here and then down here. I was finding I was having a particularly difficult time counting down there. I don't know why. And because I was having such a difficult time, I would count and recount and then count a third time. So it was definitely slow going here. I decided just to focus on anchor black, which is what I'm using instead of 310 this week. Although now to work on my way down, I have to fill in with some of the grays and then jump off from there. But that's what I worked on mostly, was I had to come down here, work on all this. This was a good size. I love that though. So fun. And then working on the bottom of her dress. And we're almost to the bottom. Well, actually we are, because the table signifies the bottom of the piece. So then that is the full size on an 18 count. Give you an idea. And if you're new, her hair is done in 2 different colors of a purple Etoile. I took a strand of each and then stitched them mixed like that. And we do have a stitch along on this one. Gail, Phillips, and I are stitching it along with some other great people. And as I always say, if you're starting it and you have an Instagram or a Flosstube or whatever, let me know and give me a link and I will add it to the list in the description when I talk about this piece. There is a little section that talks about other people that I know of that are working on this, so that you can see all the variety. There's so much you can do with this one. I love it. So go crazy if you decide to stitch it. It's a great piece. All right. And let me know if you do. That is Lady Halloween. Oh, did I tell you it's hashtag Lady Halloween SAL? If you are new. Most of you would know that by now. Okay, now we have one more piece that you have seen before. This is my Connor piece, if you remember from last video. And that's it. It's from 2x2 StitchArt. and it is called Northern Lights. Whoop, there we go. And that's what it looks like right there. It is everything. That is full coverage. Well, I could have thought about stitching it like on a you know, a deep navy or whatever. There's multiple shades in that background, so I don't know if you'd lose something with it, which is why I decided I was just going to stitch everything. I am stitching it on just a plain 18 count white Aida because, oh, I wonder if the white's going to glare off of the window here. If you notice in the picture, it's finished like in some sort of hoopy thing, which maybe that's the way it'll do. Maybe, I don't know what to do with this. Technically, I'm not going to tell the whole story again, but this could be going to somebody else as a gift. So it might not even be something I would be keeping. But it's fun to stitch. It is very intensive though, because you have the multiple, you know, in here you have 3 different shades and they look very similar once they're stitched. So you really do have to kind of pay attention where you're going and what you're doing. And then you start to introduce yet another shade of the blue or the teal in some cases. And this was fun to add in because it was a totally different color and I can bounce off of that. So I had not stitched anything from them before. The digital pattern looks good. There is a little bit of a carryover. Let me see if I can see the pattern here. Is there a carryover? Yeah, one, two, I think it's 3. 3, 1, 2, 3, yes. So from page 1 and 2, you know, there'll be a little carryover of 3 boxes so that you can see. I have yet to find anybody that as thorough as the Lady Halloween pattern, which has a good 10 carryover, but this does have a carryover, so at least it is somewhat helpful while you're doing the 2 different pages. It is just a little tricky, heads up if you're looking at it, because there are so many similar shades of colors. So, but it's fun. I do enjoy it. And then the last one, oh, actually that's it. That's all of the pieces that if you would watch last week's video, you would have seen as projects. The next 2 are new starts between last Friday and this Friday. I was thinking because if you watched the parade, you would have seen this one as the very last, newest project until this week. So I decided for New Year's, I was going to start a Heaven and Earth. I had never done a Heaven and Earth design before. And I've watched, well, Mandy Parker is the one that comes to mind right away. If you've ever seen her Eagles, it's one of the most beautiful projects done. And then she's doing some more now. So she's the one that comes right to my head. But there are plenty of others that are doing Heaven and Earth as well. And I said, you know what? I'm gonna try it and see what happens. So the artist on this is Andy Russell, and it's called Hidden Harbor. And the colors was what drew me for this. Plus, you know, it's not beachy, it's more harbory, but with the colors, it kind of looks like that kind of beautiful vacation vista type of thing. So that's why I went with it. And there we go. Remember, it's a Heaven and Earth, so a few days worth of stitching. That's what we got. So that's what I got. This is 18 count white Aida. Now on the Northern Lights, I just pulled out an old piece that I had. It wasn't the newer stuff. The newer white Aida that I use for my full coverage pieces is a brand called Caydo, C-A-Y-D-O. I find it on Amazon. I know some of you have tried to explain to me how to do an Amazon link on my description box. I'm not popular enough to be an influencer, so I don't think I can get a shop there and then just link to that. So I've yet to figure it out, even though you've walked me through it. There's some things technology-wise I have a block against, and Amazon links is one of them. But I'd be happy to, if you wanted to send me a Gmail, the link works great that way. And even if it's a big one, it doesn't really matter. I would be happy to link you to what I've gotten in the past. I get a yard of this white Aida for $18.99 was the last price I paid. I don't know if and when the prices will go up, but that's what I've gotten so far. And it is, I mean, it's white Aida. I'm not gonna lie to you, but I don't find it quite as stiff as some of the others that I've used. So that's where we are. And just lots of purples and mauves, and it's so much fun because I love those colors. Now, remember one of the things I wanted to do was to do Knit Companion with this. Well, I really wanted to start it on New Year's Day, and my iPad was dead. So I was like, darn it. I just printed off the page, and right now I'm just blocking off by pencil, but the point will be I will stitch it together and then start working on it on Knit Companion. What's nice is this one, there's little bits of stray confetti here and there, but there are larger chunks of color. So the fact that it's printed off, it's not quite as difficult a piece to do because there are big chunks of color. But that's where I am, Hidden Harbor. I got a ways to go yet. Super enjoyable though. I am enjoying it. Okay, I have one more new start. And this one I decided because Halloween is, not Halloween, Valentine's is coming slowly. And I had done one of these other, they don't have the trio listed here. I had done a different one of these. I'm 99% sure I haven't done this one. I couldn't find it if I did, which means it's lost anyway. This is one of the trios from Primrose Cottage stitches. It's called Be Mine. That's what it looks like. I did one of the other ones from the trio, and I will show you that. And then I have a little glitch with the fabric, but you know, we work with it. So the previous one I had done was February 14th, and that's what that looks like. And then here's the Be Mine. Now, you know that 99.9% of the time I use 18 count. I have a 20 count piece going right now. So that's all I own, really. Well, 18 and 20. And I have a few straight old 14 white pieces and stuff. So I went to stitch this and I was like, okay, no problem. I cut it as if it was 18 count. And then I started stitching it and I got nervous because it was coming way farther down. So I put it, I grabbed this piece because I know I had done it, and I put it up against, and look, I have, you know, I mean, mistakes happen and people are human, but I believe that when this was dyed, I think she accidentally dyed it a 16 count and maybe called it 18. I'm not 100% sure. I don't know for sure, either that or this one, but that says 18 on it. So I don't know. All I know is it's bigger. Now, I can kind of have like a, oh well, kind of attitude because it's a very small piece. I hadn't put a lot of time into it, but I am going to mark it because if I wanted to do a big piece, and if I had ever done hours and hours of work before I had gotten to the next border and it wasn't going to fit, I'm not sure I would be quite so gracious. But it's a beautiful color. So this is the full piece. It is gorgeous, and it's Bliss. It's labeled as an 18 count Aida. Bliss is the name of it, by Fabrics by Stephanie, and actually it says 18 right there. So I don't know, maybe with the dyeing process, for some reason, the it just, I don't know, it just feels like I did count when I counted these squares, and I feel like I counted no more than 17 as opposed to it being, and usually if you shrink or you dye 18, shouldn't it possibly be closer to 19 then? I don't know. Anyway, I am going to write a note and treat this as 16 count. It's really pretty, and I am using it, but I want to make sure that I don't, you know, something like this, even if it had, this is perilously close to this edge because, you know, compared to this side, I mean, obviously I would have centered it better if I'd realized, but it's not going to matter, right? It's going to be just a small piece. The goal would be to make these small little ornament-y type things. And I would fold them very close to the border because I don't want to take away from the border. But it's a gorgeous kind of very light kind of pink, but not like a pinky pink. So it's quite pretty, actually. Somebody had actually suggested if I wanted to redo my gnome, remember from the parade, maybe do it on a pink. I would do a floss toss on something like this. I bet you it would be really pretty, actually. I would just have to make sure I had enough or buy another piece that was 18 count. But it's gorgeous, and I adore the color. I just happen to potentially have a snafu that luckily worked out. So that's where we are. Sometimes I do half the borders on these, and then I get bored and I work on the inside. But I decide, especially when I came across here, I was like, you know what, I'm doing the whole border just to make sure we're not going to have any issues. So that's what I did. So it shouldn't take me a ton of extra time at this point. These are fun little stitches if you were looking for small stitches. So that's that one. And that's it. That's my new piece of the week. Let me put my giveaway stuff over here, so we'll have that afterwards. And that's the stitching all done. So I think I got a decent amount done this week. Mostly on Sunday, I was preparing for the parade, and so I got all that ready, filmed it and the whole thing. So I missed some stitching kind of time that I would normally have, but I think I did pretty good. A little few days that stitching was a little sparse, but that's okay. So that's it. That's that. I was very lucky to receive some awesome happy mail this week, so I'm so grateful, and I wanted to do a quick showing. I had never seen, well, actually most of this would be new to me, so it's great. I had not seen this design by Hands On Design before. Sally had an extra one, and she asked if I would be interested, and it's, how pretty is that? So one, they're facing in two different ways. One says, I can't read backwards, solitude, and one says serenity. I think those are beautiful. So I am so looking forward to stitching that. That looks so fun to stitch. So I'm just looking at the pattern. You could actually do them side by side because the pattern, I'm just looking at it, has got them on each side. Solitude and serenity. That would be kind of pretty too. So that's Hands On Design. Isn't that lovely? Where is it? Does it say what the expiration, the copyright is? 2014 is the copyright on that. So that was the first piece of happy mail I had gotten. Second, I've got this beautiful, and this is, I believe, art turned into a card. A beautiful card from a stitchy friend. I love that. Isn't that gorgeous? And they happen to know, oh, obviously if you watch me, you know, but they had some extra prairie schoolers, and I'm slowly working my way through. And they sent me Santa's Revisited 5 and Santa's Revisited 9. Oh, I gotta be careful because there are patterns on each side. So I have more Santas that I can work on to work on my collection of them. Do I plan on having a specific, I would like to make them into ornaments. That is my goal on that one. Here in the past, we had basically one tree that just had, ornaments. First, all the ornaments that the kids have made over the years go on, and then we fill it in with all the other ornaments we might have that are just regular ornaments. And then I used to have, well, I still do, but then I would take a small tree, I'd put it on a couple milk crates and cover it, and it would go out kind of in like where we have our mudroom here in this house. There's like 3 rows of windows. So I would put it in the center window, and because it was up on the crates, it would look like a taller tree. And that's where I would put any ornaments I had made from my years of paper crafting. Now I'll have stitchy ornaments. Obviously that small tree would be too small, but my goal would be to have a few different trees in Delaware, and I would like one of them to be crafty items. Now, whether or not it would just be all prairie schoolers, not necessarily. Even if I had a lot of them, I would probably switch them between trees if I had more than one, just to kind of shake it up a little bit. But I am super excited, And I love stitching these on the jade fabric, so I am going to continue that. I am going to keep that as the theme for that one. So that was the second piece. And I had one more piece of lovely, lovely happy mail. And I'm dropping things. My friend Linda had contacted me and asked me, she showed me this and said she wasn't using it anymore. Would I like it? And what drew me, and I said, oh my gosh, I love these. Look at that row of shells. Isn't it gorgeous? And I immediately thought in my head, what if I stitched those separately? How pretty would that be on like some sort of summer sort of themed thing, for want of a better word. So as soon as I saw those, I said, oh my gosh, I love those shells. And then when I got it, I was looking and I'm like, oh, aren't those cool? There's the lighthouses here and then another lighthouse. Is it the same lighthouse? No, there's 4 different lighthouses, 1 on the front, 3 on the back. So I am super excited and I cannot wait to try some of these shells. I think it would be really cool as some sort of summer potential element. And if not, I'm just going to enjoy stitching them for our stitching scrapbook because, you know, I'm all in on that if I can ever get it started. Okay, that was my lovely happy mail. Thank you so much for those of you who reached out. And then shopping. I have a little bit. I'm kind of right now, when I'm getting ready to move, you know, between states, I kind of have to be careful about what I order because then I'm afraid I'm not going to be where it is when it comes. And I don't know how we can work it. We can hold our mail when we leave here. But I don't know if I have to make a whole new account to hold mail if I leave there. Because I don't want to confuse it somehow or other and have things being delivered when they shouldn't be. So I'm very kind of cautious. I know I can hold the stuff that gets sent here, but not so much there. So the long and the short of it is I start to order a little bit less when I know things are going to be in that in-between time when I'm not sure where I'm going to be. But I placed an order at a new place for me. I was looking for flosses and I just kind of did a search and this place came up and I said, oh, I'll give it a try. It's not a specific stitch place. It's on Etsy. I will link it down below. I want to say it's called Amy Rose Jewelry Supply. So you can see it's not set as specifically a stitching place, but they had, I was looking for kind of sparkly DMC and they had quite a bit of that. So I said, I'm going to jump on and try that. And it was great service. It was packaged right away. It was shipped. Well, it was over the holiday weekend. So obviously they could try to ship it, but then the post office wasn't going to be doing anything with it. But their service was fantastic. So I will link them down below. I got, and I don't know if they're for you or me. I picked up some Threadworks, 2 different shades of blue and a red. I have a couple different things that I thought about that would be smalls that I would stitch maybe in like one single color. And so I'm playing around with a few of these. And if it's not going to work, then I may, you know, I like to use these as giveaways. So those, I'm not sure who they're for, but we got those. And then I got, I'll make sure I don't drop all of this. I can put it on my iPad. Actually, I'm not using that again. I got, for various projects and reasons, a bunch of the DMC. I want to say they're called light effects. Does it say it on here? No. But I think that's what it is. Light effects. So remember when I told you, well, no, in the parade was when I had talked about it. So you might not have known it. But my Bells of Ireland, you know, I was concerned that the beads wouldn't work on the 18 count, although many of you have assured me that it probably should be fine. But what I did was I looked at the beads because I do have them, and I looked at the colors and I picked up some of these sparkly DMCs that are similar in many cases to the colors of beads. Okay, there's a few that are like slightly different shade, but I wasn't sure on the computer screen. And I figured, okay, these are kind of cool. I could use them for other stuff anyway, so it's not a big deal. Like this one is kind of a blue, but I bet you could use it as like a sparkly snow if you wanted to. It's 37.47. So yeah, so even though I was looking at it potentially for this project, I can use it for other things. So I bought these on the off chance that if I wanted to, instead of bead, I wanted to make it special somehow. So I got some sparkly stuff. And then because I'm not sure, remember with my Christmas tree farm, I talked about changing up the color of the moon and the stars. And I got a bunch of different sparklies that way. Silver, that might be a little bit overkill, a couple different golds. And then this one is also kind of a fun color. What would this be? 168 is the regular number for it. This one's sparkly. And then, I don't know why I picked up these blues, but I did. They're actually quite similar. Oh no, they're not. They're a little darker. Probably for something. I just don't remember what. So I went through my head and actually, you know, when I was talking about my green Christmas and it needs candle flames. And I was talking about maybe doing something Etoile-ish, but maybe I'd do something sparkly for the flame and I'd use one of those. So that's a potential too. So I tried to think about all my different projects that might need some sort of sparkle, and I picked up a bunch of these. And I think that way I think I was able to get free shipping. That was part of it. So that I will link down below. It was a brand new store for me, but I had a really good experience with it. And then I got 2 different fabrics of the months. One is from Fortnite Fabrics. So this was their last fabric for 2021, and I was in the neutrals. I think I was in the neutrals. I don't remember what I had picked, but I'm pretty sure because that's pretty much what I had gotten. This one's called Earnest. It's an 18 count. A lot of fun. With the way their clubs work, you do sign up from year to year because they change them. And so what they did, like for example, they did 12 Shades of Gray last year, and as one of their, I think there's 4 different clubs, and then this year there might be 5 because they're doing like an ornament pack. This year one of the clubs is 12 Shades of Brown, or I don't know how they're calling it, but like different shades of brown. So I did sign up for, there's a gradient one, so it takes a certain color and it goes from different shades of that color. And they showed the January and it was like in a shade of a blue. So they had sold me right there. And then I think I also signed up for the opal. What I do appreciate with them is you can get the smaller size. So this is like an 1/8 of a rather than a fat quarter. So that's kind of nice because what they showed for their January colors. Oh, that kind of washed it out. What they showed in their January colors was really tempting, and their Aida is very nice. I have to say I do like it, and I've liked what I've gotten so far from them. So I figured I'll do it again this year. And then the other one is Bestitchme. This is the December. So if you've not gotten it, and I'm in the standard, not the neutrals club. It's called It's a Mystery. So if you look away now, it's going to be a mystery to you anyway, and that's the color. Really pretty. Really pretty shade. So that's what we had. Okay, you can look back. So that's it. That's all I got was just 2 things that were, you know, the monthly kind of thing, and then just that one order that I had placed, looking specifically for those special flosses. I thought I'd give them a try. Alrighty, giveaways. I have the way the notes are. They're kind of crooked and they're working their way down on my sheet of paper here. So if I start kind of looking funny, you'll know why. As I tilt my head and everything else to see what I'm supposed to be seeing. Okay, 3 pieces of giveaway business. One, I have not heard from last week's giveaway winner, so I wanted to give her 1 more week. So if I put this is my favorite of the 3. You know, I'm giving away the 3 yardage pieces of, it's either 2 or 3 yards, I can't remember, of these Denise Gray. Denise, you won, and you get this beautiful kind of polka dot, the burlap twine, as well as the cotton twill-ish, like a twill tape twill, but it's cotton. So those three, and they're either 2 yards or 3 yards of each. I honestly don't remember what I did. So one more week on that, and I would love to send those to you. So get back to me and give me your mailing address, and I will do that. So let's put that over there so I don't lose that. And then this week's giveaway, because we wanted to celebrate the new year, and I splurged a little bit. Usually they're not quite this big, but I said I would do a Etsy gift card. Now, I originally said $20, but Etsy doesn't let you, as far as I can tell, do custom. So their lowest was $25. So guess what? Whoever wins gets $5 extra. I'm doing a $25 gift card from Etsy. And it looks like it's pretty easy. Once I have, for this, all I would need is your actual email address type of thing. So that would be kind of nice. All right, so I'm mixing it around because we had a lot of you, understandably, I'm an Etsy fan, clearly, who are interested and expressed interest in this one. So let me make sure I make it completely fair. And the winner is, here we go. Who do we have? Claire O. Congratulations, Claire. So if you could get back to me with what email address you would like me to send it to you, I will do that. And the info is down below with either my Gmail or the Instagram DM. So I'm just going to put this over here. Usually I have something to put it with, but I can't. So I'll just put that there. And I make notes anyway so that I don't 100% forget. And then this week's giveaway. So I figured, okay, it's wintry. It's snowing today. So why not do this cute little guy in honor of like the cold winter weather snow? And it's Quirky Quaker #1 from Darling and Whimsy Designs. And it's the Puffin. Isn't he cute? He's so cute. So that's this week's giveaway. If you would like to be entered into the giveaway in order to receive this pattern, the word to say somewhere in your comments is winter. Whatever comment you want, however you want to do it, you can just write the word. You do not have to put it in a sentence. It's just a way for me to, what I do is I search for that word among all the comments, and that's how I write down your names. Super cute. I bought 2 of these, so I will be stitching. I don't have all of the Quakers, but I do have a few, and I really would like to stitch them. So that's this week's giveaway. The word is winter. And as usual with the giveaways, please don't say giveaway. Please don't say free. Please be at least 18. And I would love it if you'd be a subscriber. I'm not going to check. I'm not going to require you to be public. But that would be on your honor. I would really love it. And if you haven't subscribed already, think about subscribing. That would be awesome. I would love to have you as a stitchy friend. Okay, that's it. That's all the stitching. That's all I got. So for those of you who only stay for the stitching, I hope you have a fantastic week. Whoa, I just dropped a whole bunch of stuff right there. And I will see you next week for just good old family stuff and all of that. Oh, Shamrock, I almost forgot. I'm looking at the snow. So we got the snow last night. There's a little stray here and there right now, but for the most part, it's stopped. It's a fast moving storm. My New England friends, eWeather, he has a free app. He does post on Facebook as well, but I think at some point he's probably going to just do eWeather app only. He is on target for just about every weather event you could ever have. So that's who I follow. So anyway, he had said that this would be moving through mid-morning in my area and then working its way. It would be a fast-moving storm. And as usual, he's right. We have probably, as I get really close to the camera, I'm just trying to look outside. We probably have at least a good 6 inches, maybe more. I'm not 100% sure. But anyway, so that came last night. So this morning, Shamrock gets up in the mornings. He always wants to eat unless he really, really, really has to go out badly. So this morning he ate his breakfast, did his thing, and then we have like a little bell. So if we don't sometimes get to him fast enough, he rings the bell, and that's supposed to be his cue that he has to go out. That was our goal when we did it when he was a little puppy. Sometimes when he's hungry or a little impatient for attention, he rings it. But for the most part, we still follow through. If you ring the bell, we take you out, just to kind of reinforce that. So anyway, so he rang the bell. I said, all right, let's go out. Do whatever you got to do in the morning. So we get to the back door and I go to open it up. He slowly leans his head out. Now, his feet are about, what, that long? I mean, he's a little dog. And then he slowly backed up away from me and just gave me a look. Like, you think I'm going out in that? So, of course, I was curious what he'd do. When he was a puppy, he would have bounded out and done it. But since he's 11 and a half, and as he's gotten older, he has no tolerance anymore. So I went and I grabbed the shovel and shoveled enough of the area so that he could go out. And he did, do his business and stuff. And he still wasn't. We had to carry him to make sure he did everything he was supposed to, because he was like, I am having none of that. When he was younger, and even not just puppyhood, but, just even a few years ago, he'd be so cute because he would stick his nose in and then like shake around, and then he'd bound around in the snow and everything else. And over the last couple of years, he wants no part of it, really, to be honest with you. I don't know, maybe his joints are bothering him. He's got that bad knee. Like I said to Mo, this weather, sometimes the joints bother me, the cold bothers me, so maybe that's bothering him as well. So no cute sticking his head in the snow anymore. So I was sad about that, but anyway, that was my snow story for this morning. Yeah, and then ironically on Monday, for those of you who are in the DC, Virginia, Mid-Atlantic area, lower New Jersey, you guys got hit really hard by snow. We'd got nothing up here in Connecticut, but Delaware got hit. And so our area actually received, I want to say 8 to 10 inches of snow, and they're not used to it, ready for it. So I was following the saga on, the message boards and such. Apparently the plowing left a little bit to be desired, and there was issues and so on and so forth. So I'm just waiting for the warm weather, and the rain hopefully has washed it all away. I think it has. They got a little bit this morning and everything else was gone as of yesterday. So that's kind of the nice thing. Usually, they get a dusting of snow and it goes away. So that was a big deal earlier in the week, but we weren't there to see it. So just funny that they got all the snow and we didn't up here for that storm. So that was a big thing. And then, so I talked about, what's going on with my, a lot of people ask a lot of times about between West Hartford and Connecticut. And we're slowly making a transition just because, I don't feel like I have to stress myself out and try to do it all at once. But anyway, a friend of mine is a real estate agent up here. So we said, would you come on over and go through the whole house and tell us, what you think needs to be done, so on and so forth, because we know there's things that have to be fixed and done. Not like major, but like there's some paint issues that have to be, there's chipping we have to, scrape and then repaint, whatever. So, we kind of want just an idea. And at the same time, we were talking to her and said, we know the market's really good right now. What do you think? And so she walked through and she's going to get back to us. And then she works with a home stager who is going to come at the beginning of next week and walk through. And she's the one that will give, suggestions. We don't have to do them. If she says paint half the rooms, I'm not doing it. But if there's small things I can do or whatever, and this room here still needs to be massively decluttered. The agent did say she would like to keep it as kind of a craft area because it's an extra bedroom. And so she would like to show us another use for it for somebody who might be looking at this house and doesn't need that extra bedroom. But it needs to be pristine and definitely at least 50% of what's here gone. So that's down the road. But the point is, if for some reason we have to put this on the market a little faster, I might be doing massive decluttering. So I gave myself the task this week is to take at least an hour a day, even just 1 hour, just to make it small chunks and pick somewhere in the house, not necessarily here, but in the house because we just have stuff, and to tackle and see what I can donate, what I can throw out, what I might be keeping. You know, there's some things that we would probably try to sell on, you know, Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace or any of those places, different sites like that, and start to kind of do that. And even if I just break it down to an hour a day, it's something. It's, you know, better than nothing. So that's been my goal there. That will take a little bit away from stitching, but it'd be nice to have, you know, maybe things a little bit better under control here and have it ready for when she says, yeah, I think it would be a good time to put it on the market. So we'll see. More to come with that. I have no idea what's happening with that. And now everything's incomplete. I had an idea in my head and, you know, we go with the flow and we just figure out what's what when the time comes. So anyway, that's what's going on in my world. And kids will be getting ready to go back to school next week. Megan earlier than Connor. And that's, yeah. So, you know, basically, like most schools going back, you know, you'll be required to test before you show up and to submit the test, be tested when you get to school. Both of my children's schools require vaccination plus booster, which both kids do have. So you just submit that information and you're good to go. And then I think they've both increased their masking requirements. So that will be a little bit different than the first semester for them. But for the most part, I know with Connor School, their mentality was, this is here. We're going to live with this probably forever. So let's figure out how to make things safe for the kids and have them at school. And I appreciate that attitude. And they really are really looking out for the interests of the kids. I'm really, really impressed, especially with Connor School, with that. And they're very thoughtful in their plans and how they approach things and what they offer for the kids in regards to the health and safety of them. So that's been nice. I do appreciate that. But that's it. So I will have one kid gone back to school by the time I talk to you next. The other one almost ready to go back. So we will be close to back to a quiet household. Well, it's quiet all morning because nobody gets up before noon, I feel like. But, you know, other than that, for the rest of the day, there was an incident with popcorn at, I don't know, midnight last night. I was asleep. A burning incident of popcorn. So for a while, our bedroom smelled of awful, awful burnt popcorn smoke. Anyway, that's about it. I hope you're well. I hope you're safe. I hope you are getting some stitching in as we have jumped into 2022. I don't know what the weather is like where you are, but I hope it's okay. I don't know what to expect anymore, you know? Just take each day by each day. And hope you got a lot of stitching in. Feel free to reach out if you need anything, have any questions or whatever. And until next time, happy stitching.